Carl Gustav Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, introduced the concept of the shadow as a crucial aspect of human psychology. The shadow represents the unconscious, repressed, or denied aspects of the self-qualities, desires, and impulses that an individual refuses to acknowledge. While mainstream culture often portrays darkness as something to be eliminated, Jungian psychology suggests that embracing and understanding our dark side is key to achieving wholeness. The journey of self-awareness and individuation, according to Jung, requires confronting the shadow rather than suppressing it. Jung described the shadow as the unknown dark side of personality. It consists of all that we refuse to accept about ourselves, whether due to societal norms, parental conditioning, or personal shame. These hidden aspects can include aggression, selfishness, jealousy, lust, or even creativity and ambition that have been discouraged or suppressed. The shadow is not inherently evil. Rather, it is neutral. It gains its dangerous or destructive qualities when denied or ignored. Every person carries a shadow, but few are willing to confront it. Instead, people project their unacknowledged flaws onto others, leading to scapegoating, prejudice, and moralistic judgment. This projection keeps individuals from recognizing their own shortcomings and reinforces division and misunderstanding within society. Repressing the shadow can lead to numerous psychological and social consequences. When individuals refuse to acknowledge their darker impulses, these energies find unconscious and uncontrolled outlets, manifesting as destructive behaviors, compulsions, or irrational fears. Suppressed anger, for example, may emerge as passive aggression, self-sabotage, or sudden outbursts. A person who denies their own capacity for deception may project dishonesty onto others, fostering distrust and paranoia. On a collective level, the disowned shadow contributes to societal dysfunction. History is rife with examples of groups demonizing others rather than confronting their own failings. Wars, persecution, and ideological extremism often stem from the inability of individuals and societies to recognize their shadows. Moreover, ignoring the shadow leads to a shallow and fragmented sense of self. Those who strive only to embody goodness and purity often feel an unshakable sense of emptiness, as though something vital is missing from their lives. Without integrating the shadow, true self-acceptance and authenticity remain unattainable. Jung believed that real psychological growth comes from integrating the shadow rather than rejecting it. This process, known as individuation, involves making the unconscious conscious, bringing hidden aspects of the self into awareness and finding a constructive way to express them. Recognizing one's darker impulses allows for self-regulation and transformation. For instance, a person who acknowledges their capacity for anger can learn to channel it into assertiveness rather than repression or outbursts. Someone who accepts their competitive nature can use it to drive ambition rather than feeling ashamed of it. By owning these traits, individuals become more complete and self-aware rather than being ruled by their unconscious drives. A crucial aspect of shadow work is self-honesty. This requires looking inward without judgment, recognizing patterns of denial and projection, and accepting that darkness is a fundamental part of human nature. Practices such as journaling, therapy, meditation, and creative expression can help illuminate the hidden self. Engaging with myths, literature, and art that explore themes of inner conflict and transformation can also facilitate a deeper understanding of the shadow. Many fear that acknowledging their dark side will lead to immorality or loss of control. However, the opposite is true. Those who are aware of their shadow are less likely to be controlled by it. Suppression breeds unconscious expression, whereas awareness fosters choice and responsibility. By understanding one's own capacity for wrongdoing, a person becomes more compassionate and less judgmental of others. They recognize the complexity of human nature and develop greater empathy for those who struggle with their own shadows. This shift leads to healthier relationships, improved self-esteem, and a greater ability to navigate conflicts. Additionally, integrating the shadow cultivates resilience. When people no longer fear their inner darkness, they become less susceptible to external manipulation. Fear-based ideologies, moral panics, and authoritarian influences often prey on unexamined shadows. An individual who knows their own darkness is less likely to be swayed by mass hysteria or demonization of others. To truly know oneself is to acknowledge the totality of one's being, the light and the dark. Jung's concept of the shadow teaches that denying our dark side does not eliminate it. It only allows it to operate unconsciously. Only by embracing our hidden selves can we achieve psychological wholeness, personal empowerment, and authentic living. Integrating the shadow is not a one-time event, but a lifelong process. It requires courage, introspection, and a willingness to accept uncomfortable truths. However, the rewards are profound. Greater self-awareness, emotional balance, resilience, and a deepened sense of connection with others. By walking the path of individuation, we reclaim our lost potential, break free from illusions, and become the fullest versions of ourselves. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious.